World Health Organization. Preliminary investigations conducted by the Chinese authorities have found no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission of the bullshit identified in there and there. It can't spread from touching each other. So this separation bullshit is just that. It's utter bullshit. Now for some evidence, shall we? So what's the truth here? Schoolboy 13 with no health conditions become UK's youngest bullshit victim. Ismail Mohammed Abdulwahab from Brixton, where he was obviously a long-standing national there, sadly died without any family members close to due to the highly infectious bullshit of the bullshit. Please share this and start a prayer chain for Ismail. May God rest his soul in peace. Amen. Amen. Oh, look, what's that? Portuguese boy 14 is Europe's youngest patient to die from that bullshit. A 14-year-old boy from the Porto in Portugal is believed to be the youngest person to die of the bullshit. Victor Godino from Ovar died in the early hours of Sunday after being rushed to São Sebastian Hospital in nearby Santa Maria da Feira. He is believed to have suffered from psoriasis but has no major underlying health terms. Oh, wait a minute. It's the same picture with the same kid. They're trying really hard, but it's all collapsing around them. Now, later on in this episode, there's some very, very important information. You'll know when it's there. We no longer accept cash for the health and safety of our staff and customers. We will no longer accept cash payments or cash out until further notice. We only accept payment cards. Me trying to figure out how it's legal to not accept a currency in a country from the country that the currency was made from. This is a push. As everyone, all you lot know, this is a push for the cashless society and the total domination of humanity. Understanding is much deeper than knowledge. There are many people who know us, but very few who understand us. Bitcoin isn't a bubble, it's the pin. Something big is happening. We'll come to that later. People will pop pharmaceutical pills with all sorts of known side effects without a problem, but offer them something natural and they become researchers. Why do we close our eyes when we pray, when we cry, when we kiss, or when we dream? Because the most beautiful things in life are not seen but felt only with the heart. Calm is a superpower. Stress rather than pathological damage is the primary cause of adrenal fatigue. Excessive stress may be caused by a single strong simulatory event or by the accumulation of chronic and repeated stress. You know, like being locked up. The fall of the cabal. End of the world as we know it. Documentary by award-winning researcher Janet Osborne. It's in 10 parts. I posted it recently on MeWe and the others, and that shitty one as well. I'm going to keep this private as to who it is, but I'll. We write in relation to the above matter and further to the eviction appointment you will have received. Our client has taken the decision that in light of the current bullshit, the eviction appointment scheduled for 21st of April 2020 will be postponed. You will be given advance notice if our client applies for a new eviction appointment should the balance remain outstanding. It is suggested you use this extra time to seek some legal advice on the matter. So, because of the bullshit, they've all been called off. Which should, well, that one has it anyway. Worldwide deaths from January 1st to March 30, 2020. 36,912 deaths by the bullshit. 113,034 deaths seasonal flu. 228,095 malaria. 249,904 suicides, most from being locked up in their own homes. 313,903 traffic fatalities. 390,908 HIV AIDS. 581,599 alcohol. 1,162,481 smoking. 1,909,804 cancer. 2,382,324 hunger. Can we see the bullshit now? Utter fake bullshit. Is the bullshit man-made? The US Patent Office indicates that the current bullshit is patent number US 1013070-1B2, November 20, 2018. It is owned by the Pearbright Institute, which is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Close your eyes. Imagine a world where disease-carrying pathogens are considered inventions. Now open your eyes. You live in that world. Because it has flu-type characteristics, they are using to try and hide the fact that people are dying from the you-know-what frequency. Vodafone UK boss 2013 to 2015. If you haven't seen that interview, you want to see it because he blows the whistle on what's going on. Number 10 seeks to end bullshit lockdown with immunity passports. Fresh criticism over testing plan as Matt Wankirk says early antibody results poor. Now, can you see what this is about? Well, that wanker, Johnson, the Queen, Pedo Charlie, they've all had it, haven't they? So they're immune, so they can travel freely. That's been the plan. One of the reasons why they came down with, allegedly came down with it. And this is a more attack on your freedom. Number 10 is facing fresh questions over its bullshit testing plan as it emerged that the government is hoping to exit the lockdown through bullshit immunity passports and antibody tests that are still not proven to work. In the face of intense criticism, the Health Secretary, Matt Wankirk, on Thursday admitted for the first time that mistakes had been made. One of them being when we downgraded the bullshit on the 19th and then locked you all up a few days later. Yeah, because it's not infectious, but we're locking you all up anyway. There will be criticism made and some of them will be justified, he told the Daily Press briefing. Wanker revealed that certificates to prove that someone is immune to the bullshit could allow some of the population to go back to work, as he made a new pledge to complete 100,000 tests a day in England by the end of the month. He attempted to relaunch the government's strategy while Boris the Wanker remains unwell in self-isolation after a week of pressure about why so few tests are being carried out, especially on NHS workers. Wanker promised that tests would be expanded from hospital patients and medics to more NHS staff, even though there is no test for that particular class of bullshit, just the normal stuff. Key workers and finally more people in the community. These will be a combination of tests to live cases on the virus and antibody tests to determine whether someone has previously been infected. Germany is carrying out around 70,000 tests a day, all for live cases of the bullshit. However, the government was also forced to acknowledge it was not likely to have the capacity to embark on a programme of mass testing for live cases in the general public, as advocated by the World Health Organization and public experts. Urgent. If you saw yesterday's video, you'll know what this is all about. Sky broadband internet reportedly down for customers across UK amid the bullshit lockdown. Please pray for the children. I don't post nonsense bullshit. God bless you, Trump. Breaking Central Park. Now, there is something going on in Central Park, but they're claiming it's just where they're just putting up emergency doctor tent things. Breaking Central Park, New York. Rescue of human trafficking in tunnels below. I'm in a mess. More in comments through the day. Audio file. Nurses sent to New York City. Child sex slaves being saved in the tents hospitals set up in the Central Park. Situation is worse than people think. Some are deformed. Please, everybody, pray for these children. Our president has the military and more of a major task force to raid underground tunnels where there are babies, children used for human trafficking, sex slaves, illegal organ extraction and perversions. Our president is draining the swamp as promised. This will be in every state. Tunnels are everywhere. The rich and famous are involved as well. I know this is hard. We must open our eyes and acknowledge these things. Now, this was stuff that was sent to me, right? More news. And you all are worried about a freaking bullshit. There's way more going on in the world than deserves our attention. Stop with the bullshit and wake the F up. And this is called the deep state, the Illuminati. They are being pulled from the tunnels. There's a mass hospital set up in Central Park, New York. New York is screaming for body bags. They estimate they need 100,000. They estimate they will lose 4 to 6% of victims they've pulled out alive. Horrible torture and sexual abuse. Many were bred for this and have never seen the light of day. Some are deformed. All are malnourished. Many needed respirators because the air in the tunnels is stagnant. Officers who've been in the tunnels are losing it. They are issued bath bags before they go in. There are bodies piled up. I don't know how true this is, but the guy said some of the bodies had tiny bites taken out of them. They are speculating the live starving children were eating off the dead. I'll leave that for you to decide whether that's right or wrong. But here, let's look at this. Ofcom. UK media outlets told not to promote baseless bullshit theories. Broadcasters warn they face sanctions if they give airtime to false bullshit health advice. British broadcasters are being warned that they face sanctions from the media regulator if they give airtime to false health advice about bullshit, after a Sussex radio station was given a severe warning for broadcasting baseless conspiracy theories that the pandemic is linked to the rollout of the bullshit network. Members of the public complained after hearing a broadcast on the community radio station Uckfield FM, in which a woman introduced as a registered nurse claimed without any evidence that the rollout of the bullshit technology in that city in China was connected to the outbreak that the bullshit had been created in a lab. It later emerged that she was a practitioner of alternative medicines. Oh, well, then, in fact, you should pay attention to her because she knows what she's talking about. While the media regulator said it was not aware of any reputable scientific evidence to corroborate such the contentious claim, which runs contrary to all official advice, both in the UK and internationally, about the bullshit. Let's never forget, they've done no testing on that other type of bullshit they're trying to do us with. Ofcom confirmed it was actively monitoring television and radio stations that might be broadcasting potentially harmful views about the cases and origins of the bullshit that have the potential to undermine people's trust in the advice of mainstream sources of information during the bullshit crisis. Right, so what is going on here is exactly, and I mean exactly, what happened on 7/7. They took control of the TV and radio stations and only let them put out their bullshit version of events. That's what's going on right now. Remember what we were saying right at the beginning about the cashless bullshit being forced? United Nations proposes new global currency. The United Nations would like the dollar, euro, yen and other national currencies to be succeeded by a new global currency, a one world bank. That recommendation appears in a UN report released this week, which suggests the dollar outsized role is international finance has ended and says that it's time to invent a successor currency that would be managed by a global reserve bank. just swapping the old system for the new. Countries could agree to exchange their own currencies for the new currency so that the global currency would be backed by a basket of currencies of all the members, says the 218-page report from the UN Conference on Trade and Development. Keep in mind that this is a UN report written by bureaucrats without any actual legal ability to create the global equivalent of the Federal Reserve, which is also corrupt. Anyone who remembers about the UN agency once called for a global email tax of 1 cent per 100 email messages, but didn't exactly get it, can attest to that. The UN report grew out of the financial problem that swept the world in the last year or two, which is it diagnoses as arising from too much speculation in commodities markets, a bubble in stock markets and housing markets, and trade imbalances between countries like China and the United States. Its perception, more stringent financial regulation and diversification away from dollar as part of a new system of context exchange rates. Yeah, he said. UNCTAD's Secretary General also wants vigorous global actions, including managing energy prices through taxes. How can that possibly manage prices? By putting more taxes on? It can't. It's about theft, stealing from us yet again. To dramatically cut greenhouse gas emissions. They don't want us heating our homes. That's what that means. The diversification away from dollars idea is a close cousin to what the Chinese government has been saying recently. China, of course, can now claim the dubious honour of being the largest foreign holder of US Treasury, worth a total of $776.4 billion as of June 2009, according to a US government report from 2007. China was the top foreign owner of Freddie and Fannie bonds too. One aspect of the UN report that stands out is that in all of its 218 pages of analysis and charts, it doesn't seriously contemplate a new currency that's based on something other than paper money, which can be devalued as fast as governments can run their printing presses or add zeros to their banknotes. The push for the new world, one world government is finally here, as you can see. We make you pay for the water you drink, for the food you eat, for the wars we need, for the crimes we commit. We make you dedicate the most important part of your life to us, but we give you wages and tell you they allow you to buy stuff and pay for your needs to make us even richer. We call this freedom, and you believe it. Express. F1 Supremo Bernie to be a dad aged at 89. The dirty, filthy bastard. Health Secretary comes back fighting with bold battle plan. Yeah, wank. Bullshit pledge to test 100,000 a day. UK death toll jumps to 2,921 because they're fixing it. This has come out. Doctors are coming out and saying, someone died of cancer, went home, they put down death cancer, came back the next day, somebody changed it to the bullshit. Hancock spells out challenges, 13.4 billion NHS debt written off. Grateful Nation salutes our frontline heroes. We would do if they'd come out and tell us the truth, that there is no pandemic, that there's nothing going on, there aren't queues, there aren't people dying, it's all bullshit, as you saw right at the beginning. The Times. 100,000 virus tests a day. Let's ramp up the bullshit even further. Hancock vows huge increase amid anger. Global cases of disease pass 1 million. Leading football stars told to take pay cut. And then you got the other actors that involved in this bullshit. Wimbledon nets 100 million cancellation payout. Oh, so they're not losing out, are they, at all? No, of course they're not. Telegraph. 100,000 tests to pay promised as ministers seek end to lockdown. Hancock pledges to hit targets by end of month and says all NHS staff will be tested in effort to fend off criticism of response to crisis. Police told to fine parents of children who ignore the lockdown. It's just advice, this lockdown bullshit, but they're trying to turn it into rules. Footballers Union defies calls for pay cuts. Great Depression level of job losses forcing US. Bullshit appeal to Sweden. The rest of Europe is experimenting. Daily fail. Humbled into action. Health Secretary promises 100,000 virus tests a day by May. Fine words, but the fail warns, don't fail this test, Minister. Burning to be dad at aged 89. Dirty, filthy paedophile. Mirror. Bullshit. Eddie's heart wasn't strong enough to fight the bullshit. Showbiz mourns little and large legend who has died at the age of 78, and they're saying it was, the bullshit. Heroes face test wait. NHS promised 100,000 bullshit checks per day, but not until the end of April. Wanker calls on drug firms to help and demands Prem stars take pay cuts. The Guardian. Number 10 admits mistakes over testing as it sets new targets. Bullshit cases passes 1 million worldwide. I don't believe that for a second. But what they're not putting out is you've got over a 98.5% chance recovery rate. But no, they're not going to put that in the news because they want you in fear so they can keep control, so you'll give up all your freedoms for this bullshit. The utter scum. Matt, bring on the cake. Or is that the piss take of let them eat cake? Linda, NHS saved my life. Exclusive, health staff fiasco. Bad to worst. UK test site sitting empty. Yes, we send swabs to Germany. So how do we know they've not been tampered with then? We don't, of course. That's the plan. Metro, we love all. A massive round of applause across the nation for our carers. Well, how about giving them a proper wage? You know, bring the MPs' wages down to match the nurses' wages. Everyone gets the same wage. Not much chance of that, is there? UK death toll racing ahead. Rate now worse than here than in Spain at the same state. Utter bullshit and fear-mongering this is. Rise of 569 dead in 24 hours takes our total to 2,921. Look back at the figures at the beginning there that I put right at the beginning. Utter bullshit this is. 100,000 tests a day promised by Health Secretary. Waste of paper. Tears for legend. Bullshit victim Eddie's tragic end. Star died alone after catching bullshit in hospital. Right. Now, while we're on that subject, I won't just leave it there because I was about to. I have a relative and they have epilepsy. Right? I think it was epilepsy or something anyway like that. They have fits anyway. And they were having a fit. They called an ambulance. The ambulance came and it says, well, we don't want to take you to hospital because if you do, you might not come out. And I've heard multiple stories of people going to the hospital with virtually nothing wrong with them, then being put into a coma and dying. This is probably the most important thing you can do. Stay away from hospitals. They are killing people. Men, women, children. If you go, they will kill you. They will put you in a coma and kill you, or they'll do it some other way. Stay away from the hospitals. FT. Jobless claims surge in Europe and US as global economy stalls. Oil prices soars 50% after Trump's tweet spurs hope for Saudi-Russian supply cut. And finally, if you make a mask out of a bra, use the left cup so you don't look like a right tit when you go out. First batch of Dyson ventilators are out. Doctors say this guy is picking up nicely. And all together now, All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Chinese eat them all. Have you been missold PPE? Personal protection equipment. Hello, fellow chaps and lovely ladies. As promised, I am writing to all of you about this killer flu type thing that can be killed by alcohol gel, as you all know, which is why the black market price by volume is now higher than that of a bottle of vintage Bollinger. And I would know because I drink plenty of it. The science is clear. If alcohol can kill the bullshit on the outside, it must also work on the inside. I therefore need the whole country to get absolutely hammered for a 14-day period to kill this virus off for good. 3 weeks from now, when the hangover is finished, we can all get back to normal, and if it doesn't work, we'll all be too pissed to care. Clear enough? Cheers, Boris. Couple sat watching TV. Husband keeps flicking channels. Golf, porn, golf, porn, golf, porn, golf, porn. Wife says, for F's sake, leave it on porn. You know how to play golf. Can't wait till tomorrow. Another day of looking out the window and playing Spot the CUNT. Social distancing.